This is raw and uncut. Right?
All right, raw and uncut.
What's the last episode?
Part two. Or remastered.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that raw and uncut because you guys said bad stuff that I need to edit out.
Yeah, that's true.
That you guys made me do.
Nah, we can name it something else. This is just like.
No, this one's gonna be actually raw and uncut because we're not gonna do anything to make Chris have to edit it again.
All right, the real raw.
Real.
So now we can just bullshit about anything. So
yeah. So I mean, you guys had a good topic. Like Matt earlier, you were running stuff over with your truck.
Dude, yeah, and then I found a flare. I found an actual fucking flare.
Like a road flare or like a flare from a flare launcher?
I have no fucking idea. It's just a big ass red flare. And it was like, I took the cap off and I'm like, yo, that's the one with red smoke coming out. So like, if I throw it, my Warzone loadout drop gonna come? Or like,
So my dad bought this used boat and it didn't have a horn. So inside the like side compartment, there was a can of air that had one of those horns on top. So it's like an air horn. It made a big ass noise when you hit it. And I was smoking with some people. We're all high as fuck. I went around the corner to take a piss, came back, brought that, snuck up right behind, I think it was Dante or Dylan who I did it first to, right behind him. He jumped probably like 3-4 feet.
Wow.
Fucked him up.
Dude, that would scare the crap out of me.
Yeah, no, anything coming from around the back, man, I'm scared.
Because it sounded like a semi almost, so.
Like a semi-horn?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, just that out of nowhere.
Especially when you're high.
Oh,
Yeah. Honestly, when stuff comes like out in front of me, like I get scared. Like my little brother, like wait there and then jump on me. I'm like, shit.
Dude,
put on my arms.
That's why when I'm at the stairs and my family's coming down the stairs, I always position myself like so that I don't scare them, but I end up doing it anyway. Or the same for them. It's like, how do I walk around the corner without fucking?
Yeah.
See, I just purposely.
My mom gets pissed at me sometimes because she'll have like the lights off in the house because she's getting ready for bed or something. I'm going to get a glass of water and she's just standing there, and then I'll be like 5 feet away from her. She'll turn around to me and be like, ah! Just get a crap out of her when I was literally doing nothing.
Yeah, like.
No, man, I actually hate, like, I don't know, I'm an easily scared kind of guy. Like, literally, I'll be walking around the corner, somebody else who I know is coming will walk in and be like,
You actually just start breaking down. Dude.
Yeah, no.
Dude, like, imagine that. If you just had a mental breakdown every time you got, like, scared a little bit. Like, just a full-on anxiety attack.
Dead. Straight dead.
Well, I feel like there are people like that. They're just, like, homeschooled. And, like, they just don't go outside.
No, I think they're like medicated so they don't have to be like that anymore.
Okay, yeah, actually, that makes more sense. Yeah.
But, like, if they're off the meds, man,
Oh, yeah.
be sucking.
Yeah. Like,
Sucking big time.
I wonder what people like that did before they came up with these meds, like 200 years ago.
They'd be locked in a mental asylum.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, by the way,
there's-
this is Jack Swanson. Swanny.
Yeah, we
nice
got
to
a
meet
guest
everyone.
here, Legend Swanny.
Yeah, it's that, okay, now that that's out the way.
Everybody's just confused for the past 2 minutes who's there with
Who the
them.
fuck is
What the fuck is this fucking?
this? Yeah, but, yeah, dude. Fucking, yeah, we basically ran over the baseball in my freaking truck like 8 times. Then when we finally got the skin off, and it was just a ball of yarn. So he was like, okay, what if I just leave it here, pick up the yarn, and then just run? Will the yarn just like slowly like unravel itself? Didn't fucking work at all.
Dude, yeah.
It would have been cool if it did, though.
Yeah, dude. But then it was just a big
Honestly,
ass ball of dirt.
taking stuff apart because you're curious is like definitely underrated, right?
Yeah, that's why I break so much shit.
Yeah, that's why. There's a reason for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
a good reason.
And like my computer monitor died the other day, and I was kind of pissed that my dad didn't let me break it open to see what was inside.
Oh, you should have.
Nah, yeah, you should have. Like,
I've got this one monitor that I bought at a yard sale, or it's an old Dell monitor, but still new enough to be a flat screen. So I took the polarizing filter off of it, and I bought replacement ones on Amazon, and put them in old 3D glasses for
Oh
lenses.
yeah, so they're like the secret screen.
Yeah, when someone looks at it, it only sees a white screen, but if you put the glasses on, it's like a privacy monitor, and you can
cool.
see it.
no, yeah, that's kind of awesome.
It doesn't work that good because all the colors are like off, and if you tilt your head, it gets really blurry because it has to be oriented a specific way.
Dude, you know, you're the definition, I mean this in a good way, of like the definition of like doing just tomfuckery for fun. Like you'll just do anything that just sounds cool and is fun.
Like a lot of times I think of something, it's like, damn, that's a bad idea. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
See, yeah, and I'm kind of that same way, but like I kind of had that voice in the back of my mind saying, okay, is this worth it? Like I weighed the like how fun it would be versus the potential trouble. I mean, a lot of times it checks out.
Yeah, it's fun to be like that, but it's hard. Like you'd have to give up a lot of morality.
It's easier for some people, though.
Yeah, some people are just.
You don't really need to give up morality. It's just, like, I would say if you go full in and embrace every little urge you had, then that just make you a sociopath.
Yeah, I guess.
Basically.
I don't know.
That's why you gotta have like some I guess, morality with it. Like, Jack, well, like, what do you say are the boundaries between like doing what you want to other people?
Probably felonies.
Felonies?
Let's stop at
So, like, the
felony.
law?
Some like misdemeanors I might do, or if I'm like certain I can get away with it, and it's nothing that's like evil.
Yeah, there's like what's illegal, like the law of man versus like the law of morality. I would guess. Like I would say like copyright, like
Oh yeah, I don't give a fuck about copyright.
yeah.
I pirate so much shit.
Like a lot of copyright is just big companies lobbied stuff to like so they just own words. Like you shouldn't be able to own a part of the English language or like a combination of phrases.
Well, I feel like you should if you actually invented that. But if it's just a specific term you use for marketing and you just don't want anyone else to use it, then that's kind of messed up.
And like obviously if it's like your brand name, you shouldn't be able to like have other people do the exact same stuff. Like if you made like a cookie company and you named it something, another cookie company shouldn't be able to name it that exact same thing. But like
So wait, what you're saying is, if I love the word Nike and I want to make a bread company, I can name it Nike.
not necessarily.
Just
but,
name it Nike instead.
Well,
There's probably something
like next, yeah. But there's like an extent, 'cause like Nike is not a word in the English language. Like Nike is a made-up brand name, and that's different.
I think it's a German word actually.
Okay, well,
It probably is.
yeah, probably.
Nike. No.
I mean, there's like thousands of languages out there, so probably any sound you could make with your mouth is probably a word.
You own those words.
Honestly, like if you think about it, like you could just be talking to somebody normally, and like in some other language, you might just drop some horrible slur, or like say something really offensive to them. But it could be like some, I don't know, Aborigine Australian language that you'd never know ever.
Well, I mean, a lot of derogatory terms in like the modern languages, a lot of them just derive from the U.S.
Yeah.
Like I know in Japanese, like fucking bitch are fuku and bitchu. Like they're just different ways of saying the same thing.
Yeah, and I guess they're like slang, so not like officially endorsed word. Like I know,
Endorsed?
or endorsed by it. Like they don't really translate
Put
well.
money sponsor.
It's kind
Put
of
money
related.
sponsor.
It's kind of related, but it's not like the same topic. But the word marijuana was invented by the U.S. government because cannabis sounded too friendly, and they wanted to sound like black and Mexican, so people thought it was
Yeah,
bad.
they did.
Dude.
That's why it's got the.
And
J.
honestly, like going back on what they said with systemic racism, like the drug enforcement policy, I feel like, or I guess actually Nixon straight up said, but like that was their political prosecution tool. Like, oh, these people that aren't like us do this, so we're gonna use this as an excuse to go after them and send them to prison for multiple like decades, basically.
Which is wrong, but I understand where he's coming from in terms of like a plan.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's like a fine gradient. Like, obviously not everything should be legal for everyone. Like, there shouldn't be recreational heroin. But like, I mean, I guess. Well, not for kids at least. Like you should be able to make that. You should be confident enough to make that decision for yourself. Like, would you agree with that?
No, I'm honestly kind of undecided on that because, like, the libertarian in me wants everyone to be able to do everything, but also heroin is a pretty messed up drug. So.
Yeah, and like that can ruin life. So it's like weighing personal, or I guess that's the role of government, weighing rights versus responsibilities.
Yeah, I'm probably as libertarian at heart as anybody will ever know besides like true libertarians. But to me, it kind of just comes down to survival of the fittest. Like, if you're stupid enough to like get fully invested in overdose and a bunch of stuff, then that's your choice.
Well, a lot of times, some of the reasons that people become drug addicts, drug addicts is because of like suppressed mental health issues, and they can't figure out some other way to deal with it. So,
and I guess going off the libertarian thing, like the one I guess critique I have of that is like everybody does have choices, but a lot of people are inclined to make them like make the wrong
like
ones.
out of nature and out of the way they're nurtured.
And also, you got to remember that like the average Joe is really fucking stupid.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That's what my dad always taught me. He's like, yeah, listen, like, why are you so nervous about this? The world is set up for the dumbest people. Like, for the most part it is. Like, some stuff, not everything.
Even if you're just not even slightly intelligent, but like average intelligence, you can go great places.
Yeah.
Because I know plenty of stupid people who somehow have money.
And and that's what like, and my dad, he said my uncle told him that like, or no, he told my uncle that, listen, that guy over there who's stupid is gonna go farther than you because he's not overthinking it. He's just getting shit done and then doing it. You're overthinking it, so it's stopping you from
Yeah,
like,
and
doing
I would
certain
say it's
stuff.
more of like dedication and grit. Like there are stupid people, but like because they aren't thinking about how to make stuff easier, like they do a better job. Like they could be like contractors that will make sure there is not a single speck on there. Like they don't bother. They just like saying, okay, this has to be done right, and they do it perfectly.
Yeah.
And like their, I guess, quality because they're not trying to take shortcuts makes them so successful.
Another thing too is just like plain old talent. Like I'm not saying
Oh,
your
yeah,
dad's
natural
stupid or whatever,
Yeah.
but I don't know like his intelligence level, but he could still be like as dumb as a bag of rocks and still have his ability to paint.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, and that could be like goes with athletes too. Like I know plenty of athletes that aren't the smartest, but they run good.
Yeah, physically just gifted.
on the other hand, there's like people who you'd think they'd be stupid and they just surprise you out of nowhere with little glimpses of their intelligence.
Yeah, that's, and you know, I'm going to expand upon that. Everybody I consider is kind of smart, but just in their own way, like for their certain things. I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, but I know you probably mean like just in general, like.
I mean, going off of that, like I would say, like some kids that I thought were not have intelligent have like surprised me. Like one kid scored like 6 seconds on Minesweeper. Like he cleared it. Like he wasn't thinking about it. He just developed it as a skill, like to recognize the patterns. Because like he did the technique where he doesn't flag the mines. He goes all the way around him, and like subconsciously, like he just went boom, 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 boom. It was like the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
Well, my grandma on my mother's side had a bunch of drugs that she had to take for cancer treatment, and this was back in the 80s, so they weren't where
Yeah.
medical technology is now, and she's legally considered retarded because of some of the stuff the drugs did to her. But she has my old Game Boy that I used to play on, and she's actually really good at Tetris on it.
Yeah, and I
And
guess that goes into like savants and stuff because like throughout.
No, I think that'd go more into like what Matt was saying in terms of like everybody's kind of specialized in terms of one thing or another, no matter what it is.
I guess it would go down to like I guess neurodiversity and brain wiring. Like some people are better wired for other stuff. Like some people could like see a pattern, or like I guess some people could like tell somebody's nature just by seeing how they act through like little things and little connections that they don't even think about.
kind of related to that is there's like no true way to measure intelligence.
Oh,
There's
no.
multiple different forms of intelligence, and you can't just see any person to figure out how dumb or smart they are.
Like the IQ test is the stupidest thing ever made.
Yeah, I mean it was made for kindergartners.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's relative, like, I guess it's related to, like, statistically, like, higher IQ people do, I guess, a little bit better than that one, but still, there's obviously going to be, I mean, you can't say anything for certain, because there's always going to be exceptions.
But you can have, like, you could be a dumbass and just know how to get around certain loopholes.
Yeah.
And you can be, and I consider that being, like, really smart.
Or straight up dumb luck. Like,
Yeah.
you could get a shit ton of money just because you happen to inherit property
Wait.
with oil.
Kind of going off that, do you guys believe in luck?
Can you be more specific? Like,
Well,
I guess it depends for me.
well, I guess I believe in, like, random probabilities, so.
yeah,
like,
that's
Yeah.
what I believe in luck.
if you're
but
spinning a wheel or
If-
something that like,
if you
like,
believe in like some kind of magical force that's luck, where you can be like just a lucky
Like
person or an
karma?
unlucky person, I don't think that's really real.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. Like, you have a coefficient, like, if your life was an equation, there was some sort of coefficient called luck that you could just slam in there.
And
I
I
don't-
mean, I guess like the luck's not some like luck is what we perceive based on the event. So we're like, okay, this happened, so this person must be lucky because a bunch of good stuff happened to them.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, it's just random chances, and I guess luck is how they identify with as the results. Like, and they call it that.
I mean, there are some people who I think are like really stupid lucky for like no reason, but I think it's just
Yeah,
random events that happen in their favor.
I mean, it's a little bit out of their control. But personally, like, I guess like going off of karma, like I like to. I guess it's a better philosophy to look on the world. Like, if you think that good stuff will happen to you, then you'll perceive good stuff is happening to you, and you'll also be more likely to do good stuff to others, which I think is good. Like, it's a better philosophy.
yeah, it's like if you get into like a fist fight or something, and like you're getting your ass whooped, and then you randomly throw a punch, you knock them out. That's not luck. Like you intended to throw that punch, you did, and it landed. That's not luck. Like it just, you know.
I mean, there might have been a low probability that you're doing it, but like it happened.
Yeah.
And you
Well, that's
just
like
put your
directly in
result.
our hands, though. Like I'm talking like
Well,
all four of
Like
us are
winning
walking
the
down
lottery.
But I'm not talking about like you
Not
set it up.
necessarily,
I'm
no.
talking like you just like randomly like swung
if you're
something.
fighting someone who's like way stronger and way more powerful than you, and you have to knock them out, it could just be that they were having like an off day or something, and that happened to be the day they picked a fight with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
made the
that-
wrong move or something.
Okay, no, that's better.
Yeah, and I guess like luck is really only a retrospective way, and also like a way of how people, I guess, evaluate like what their chances are with risk taking. Like some people who feel they're all lucky are more inclined to take risks than others.
So you're saying the people that don't feel they're lucky and don't believe in luck are just they're not gonna be able to.
No, I'm not
experience
saying.
that they're lucky?
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying people that feel they're unlucky tend to notice like the bad events and say, okay, I'm an unlucky person because this, and this have happened. And like they weigh bad more than good, and people are lucky who are like, oh, I'm so blessed, notice the good things and tend to tone down the bad things. So I guess it's a good thing to believe in luck, because like a perception where you notice what's good is more pleasant than one where you notice what's bad.
I mean, how many times have you been close to like severely injuring yourself or dying, and like being lucky like to get out of that? You know what I mean? Like,
For real.
I mean, we've all almost got, basically everybody's almost got hit by a car,
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
and that's what makes it an almost.
But I don't feel like that's luck. I don't.
No, it's not really luck. Like luck does not exist, and it's just.
That's why I put quotes around
Yeah,
it.
it's just a reaction that people have to their past events.
so I feel like it's what you were kind of saying earlier. A lot of it's, I guess, or all of it's just probability. Like there's a low chance, there's a high chance, there's that 1% it could happen.
Yeah.
But in a lot of cases, there's always a low chance. It's just the fact of whether you get that low chance or not.
Yeah, and whether you get it
Like if you're
consistently.
gambling.
And like if you do it enough, you're more likely to have more chances, but you're also more likely to have more bad chances.
Yeah. But then if you never mind.
It's really just the opportunity you open yourself up to, and like I guess going off what you said with like libertarian stuff, like with social justice, I believe like what instead of equality and equity, I think like people should try and fight to a world of equal opportunity.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, like so everybody, no matter who you are, does have a chance. And I mean, I would say right now in the world that is completely not true.
Oh yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah. Like, if you're born in the wrong country, then that could shorten your life span by half and, like, increase your chances of being killed.
Yeah, speaking of another country, I'm sorry to like go off, but you guys know Akon?
Yeah.
The song?
Akon and only I need you. I just had He was in that song.
had sex. Yeah, that dude. He's founding his own city in Senegal.
Oh, yeah.
It's called
Seattle
Akon
one?
City.
That's a kind of a cool name for a
And
city.
it's completely based
Going
off
to
of
Akon.
cryptocurrency.
Going to Akon.
Wait, where's the
Honestly,
city again?
Senegal. It's right near their capital.
yeah.
It's so weird, but like, it's just awesome that he's making basically a super city strictly based off cryptocurrency. Like strictly based off the
I
market.
mean, that's how the world's going to
Yeah.
go, like.
I think that paper currency doesn't really have its place anymore.
It doesn't.
And I mean, also, like, cryptocurrency has its flaws, especially Bitcoin, because, like if some people say that Bitcoin is better for the environment because they're not using, like, paper, like, they're completely wrong.
Yeah,
Transferring Bitcoin requires so much power, it's like burning down a tree, basically.
And also just having the electronic devices to use Bitcoin on the carbon footprint, just making those devices.
Yeah.
But there's something about paper money, like being able to hand somebody the cash and be like, they got the money, no fuck ups, you know what I mean?
And you don't
Like,
have to worry about the battery dying on money.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
My wallet. I always have my shit in there. I can just be like, "Here's your $5. You have it now. That's the end of it."
But
Yeah.
another thing about that though is you can lose money or it can get stolen.
Yeah, I mean,
With
yeah,
Bitcoin, that doesn't happen. Unless
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get hacked or something.
And like it's easier to take precautions with that. And I guess like it goes on scale. Like cash makes sense for buying groceries, going to a restaurant, but purchases like a car or a house should be done without paper money. And like banks should, I guess
Well-
they should have other wealth to back it up, or maybe stocks or something.
The thing with buying like a car or a house, you usually don't pay with paper money anyway,
Yeah.
so you finance it some way.
I mean, the IRS will be like, "Is that $10,000 cash? Let me audit it."
I mean, but I feel like in a perfect world, I feel like paper money should be the only thing.
Yeah.
Well, paper
Okay.
and coin.
And I mean, like, or that's why plastic money's also been making, like, I think, is plastic money like water resistant and could like withstand
Oh,
more
like the
than
money
paper.
in Canada where it's
Yeah,
way more durable
in
than
Europe.
ours.
Oh yeah.
Plus, I think it looks cooler. Like the money in those countries where it's like clear and there's like a symbol on there, like that's pretty dope.
Yeah, right. It looks cool. It looks cool. No, I'll give you that. I don't know. There's something about having a good old Washington here.
Yeah.
Plus, you can't, if you want to flex on somebody, you can be like, yo, look at all this cash. You can be like, yo, look at that screen. Look at
Yeah.
that number
Check
on my
out my
screen.
number. Look at the big number.
Check out my numbers. Yeah, I like being like, stacks over here, you know. Not
Also
that I'm
about that
stacked,
though,
but-
I feel like people who brag just do it because they're kind of insecure about where they are.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was more so a joke on my side. I would never actually do that.
No, we're getting serious.
Yeah.
I mean, we all brag from time to time though. It's just
Oh yeah.
a thing
Well,
about
I
being
feel like
human.
more people are inclined to like when they value themselves based on money. Like that's just another form of insecurity.
Oh yeah. It's. I mean, I've never been. I don't think any of us have ever been at that place.
Been like rich. Or,
Well, like just bragging about like stacks. We've got stacks, and we're just like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, who fucking brags about that? Or like,
Oh,
I shouldn't,
no,
no, I shouldn't
no,
say
yeah.
who brags about it, but like, I mean that in the sense of like, why would you?
Well, only people that like feel that they're better, like that believe that mindset, like more money, more equals a better person. Like I've seen people like that on a cruise where like, is that an android? Ew.
I'm not gonna say the guy's name, but I'm pretty sure we all know him.
Yeah.
And I mean, no offense if for some reason you listen, but I don't think you will. But you know the kid who awards the Gucci belt to our school because his parents got a lot of money from a lawsuit in our grade.
I think so, yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just does that to flex on people. He probably didn't want a Gucci belt for any reason other than the clout.
Gets rich off a lawsuit.
Yeah, and that's the problem I have with like I guess it's so wasteful for this supposed luxury stuff like Supreme. Like it's just a crowbar with Supreme. Like why do you want it?
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
There's a Walmart right up the street. You got $10
Yeah.
freaking jeans.
And like
Fuck it.
I mean I just get all my shit at Old Navy and like really comfort is the only thing that matters to me. But
Yeah.
and I guess like that goes on another thing like appearance of working or appearance of being better matters more than the actual thing. Like that's what I've noticed with masks. Like I've made 3D printed masks that use like the filters from air conditioners and they're hospital grade. And then my parents are like, oh, I'd rather use a cloth mask that looks like it works. But in reality, cloth mask allows like virus particles through it, basically like nothing.
Good old form versus function.
This is probably really bad, but I don't wear my mask at all anymore.
Honestly,
There's a
everybody's
lot of people that
forgotten. Yeah, forgotten about it. Like I only wear it when I'm with like a bunch of people. So like if I go into Walmart, I'll wear it. If I go like I guess to anywhere with a crowd, I'll wear it.
No, but I kind of understand that because honestly, in Fredonia, I don't see anybody who has it. I think I've only seen
Yeah.
one person who's like related to a person who has it, and like I
Mhm.
don't know. I just feel like we're in a pretty safe.
And I
place.
mean, if they were to transmit it, like there's probably only a 20% chance that like they're not showing symptoms and they're transmitting it. Like a lot of the people that transmit it are home sick.
Yeah.
And like we know better than that.
I mean, if I go to get gas at like Crosby's, I won't wear it. I'll run because it's like a 5-second interaction. You run in, oh, this amount of money on this pump, you're out. You know what I mean?
Plus, I would say washing your hands is the main thing. Because like with social distancing, we really just touch something and then you gotta make sure you clean up after it.
Yeah. No, yeah, I kind of feel like coronavirus is just.
Oh, it is.
It's still up, but it's out of my.
Well, it's definitely knocked down a notch after the George Floyd thing. Like that became the new thing. Like coronavirus had like 2 months of trending, and then it's like, all right, this
Well,
movement now.
Yeah.
This kind of sounds kind of conspiracy theoristy, and I don't really believe it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's
I
not
think
bad.
like the reason why the media and the news is going so big with coronavirus and so big with the George Floyd thing is because they're actually starting to tie the Clintons to Jeffrey Epstein through emails about pedophilia and stuff.
I
And
saw that.
Hillary Clinton's currently on trial, and there's like no news coverage of it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Like, her
they
emails
had
were-
some coverage of it, and I mean, like that's basically most of the political thing. Like Donald Trump Hillary Clinton. Like they're basically the same.
Not
in some
even
way.
political. I'm just talking about the level of power.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I really don't know anything about Jeffrey Epstein. I heard the name. I heard the meme. He didn't kill himself. I did not know what that meant at all.
So
I still am kind of like weary.
I mean, there's a
Basically,
good
he
documentary on Netflix.
Basically, he
Heard
was
about
a stock trader, and he got really, really rich really
Yeah,
fast.
and
he
he
used
got
that-
rich by being friends with like the
Yeah, that
billionaires.
Yeah.
And he used that money to start having like young 14, 15-year-old girls get massages and stuff.
Yeah,
And that eventually
and
turned
then he was,
into paying them as sex workers.
Mm-hmm.
And then he
If
bought
he
his
thought they
private
were hot
island.
enough, yeah.
There was like human trafficking on the island too because
Mhm.
it was offshore.
Yeah, so he's basically like a serial rapist that
Someone
like
went to go get
used
him
billions
and
of dollars to cover it up, and he had major connections to people.
This probably sounds really bad to say, but is it technically rape or is it sexual assault?
I would say it's sexual assault. Well, I mean, there's some cases of it where it's probably rape. Like, I would imagine that some of those occurs, but a lot of it's sexual harassment or
yeah.
assault.
It's
It's like a gradient.
I think he kind of like tricked them into consenting, where it's not really consent, but it's not
Yeah.
as bad as just physically forcing someone.
Uh-huh.
And
I mean,
again,
most of the cases are like that, but I would say there's a few where it's that.
Nah,
It's still really terrible though,
Yeah.
especially with children.
no, yeah, it's obviously a terrible thing, but if you can coerce someone into like that kind of stuff, it's a fucked up kind of smartness. But I feel like that's some sort of like
Well, it's
You're
like
clever.
manipulation in a way.
yeah. Anybody who can manipulate the human mind, I feel like is a really clever fellow.
Mm-hmm.
So then
And I
what-
mean,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
or yeah, I guess go ahead.
I was just gonna say like the whole Jeffrey Epstein killed himself or didn't kill himself, or whatever. Like, what's that about? Like,
Oh, he definitely didn't kill himself because like my dad has friends that are prison guards and like all the prison and basically anybody that's familiar with that is like okay, he was supposed to be on watch and they conveniently lost footage in these 2 hours where he hung himself.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just a complete setup job.
Hmm.
Like there's no way around it. Like it just makes sense. And like they're probably never gonna catch the people that did it because it was either insiders at the prison or like paid professionals that got in there.
That's crazy though that you mentioned that. Like, I didn't know that.
I mean, if you throw enough money at anything, like it
It
can
always
go
is.
away.
Yeah. I honestly hope I'm never at that state. Like, the most money I want is like a quick milli.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to hit a milli and then
Yeah.
that.
Like I would say, you only need $10 million to get all the cool shit you want. Like as long as you don't need you don't need a private jet to go fly around and hang out with celebrities. Like you just need like a dope ass car, a dope ass house,
I don't even want
and
that.
some land.
Honestly, I get people who want dope ass cars. Like, if I'm super rich, yeah, I'll buy a Ferrari, but I'm not gonna buy like 3 or 4
Yeah.
Gucci ass cars.
Well, I wouldn't say like
Gucci ass cars. I'm not gonna buy Gucci cars.
The thing is, even with like Lamborghinis and Ferraris, everyone thinks those are like the ultimate best cars. But when you're like super wealthy, like Jeff Bezos wealthy or like Bill Gates wealthy, you don't even have cars that have names on them. They're custom made for you.
yeah.
It's one of one.
It's
So
like
sports cars.
and I mean that's what all cars used to be like. They all used to be like wealthy industrialists like that have their own mechanics to run their own cars, and it's really until Henry Ford when they started making them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wouldn't you be
Well,
afraid?
the Dodge brothers, I don't know if it was before or around the same time, but it was before the Model T came out.
Okay.
They were commercially producing cars too,
Yeah,
but
I guess that too.
Yeah, but it was just Henry Ford had the assembly line.
yeah,
He got
he,
faster.
He is
he
the
made
first
cars
one.
affordable.
Yeah.
Man, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys do, but I just have this whole thing of like, oh, what if you're like Jeff Bezos or something? You're making all this money, but like, what if you go bankrupt or something for God knows a reason? I feel like I don't know. That's why I'm so like I have this phobia of like buying a mansion and all these cars. Like I'd buy like a nice house. I know you're probably thinking, Matt, if you had all that money, you're gonna want to buy like nicer shit. But it's like I just have this fear of like, what if something happens and the job you have that gives you a lot of money, like you get laid off or you go bankrupt or something happens. you
It
know what I
doesn't
mean?
want to be unsustainable.
Yeah.
Like that. And I would say
And also with wealth, if society were just to fall apart, it doesn't matter if you're Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates. Unless you hoard it all in gold, money's
Or-
gonna be worthless.
or you have like your own private military and like your own feudal
Well, yeah, but
castle.
if money's not worth anything anymore, how are you gonna pay your private military?
Yeah, like basically nothing.
Like
Well-
all you've got left is your belongings. And that's
Like
it.
honestly, like if I had that much money,
because your employees are going to take over.
well,
Yeah.
like what I would do with it would like I would just set aside $10 million for like so my family could have anything like and it would be like a trust fund.
That's a good idea, actually. Everybody around here, if you had $1 million right now, what would you do with it?
Real estate.
Pay off
Smart.
college. Pay off.
Smart.
I would say I would pay my college and then I would save it for a startup, for something that I make in college.
Yeah, you could
Oh.
probably do both. Smart.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd probably, I think I'd put it all into like, I'd put part of it into college and then the other part, because I want to be a screenwriter, I'd just put into like a mortgage for a house.
Yeah.
And then just, I want to make my own money off of my own job.
Well, I mean, like you can invest some of that till you're ready, and then like you could use that to start your own thing.
Yeah.
Like personally, like I wouldn't use it too much later. Like I'm looking at being an industrial engineer. Like that's what I'm going to major in. So I would get some experience in there before I would start my own company in the engineering field, or be like a private engineering contracting firm.
Okay, yeah, the private shit I understand more.
Yeah.
I also buy a dog. Like I buy my own dog and all the shit that I need to take care of that dog.
Well, like what kind of dog are we talking about? Like a multi-$1,000
Boxer, get a
special
boxer.
I
breed
don't
dog?
know breeds.
Get a boxer.
My dad is a freaking animal hospital veterinarian, and I don't know what a breed is.
Get a boxer. Boxers.
Honestly, a lot of times, just dogs that don't have a specific breed are some of the best dogs.
Yeah, because like
Mutts.
Yeah.
mutts are the most like healthiest. Like my dog's freaking invincible. He could eat like a thing of cookie dough and be fine.
Well,
Because-
Blake's a little bit retarded. He's a little bit retarded.
Because breeds of dogs didn't used to be a thing before. Well, dogs in general didn't used to be a thing in humans, but before
Yeah.
we started specifically breeding wolves and
It's
dogs,
really just like a
were
bunch of rich
specific
people
breeds.
like started inbreeding
Yeah.
inbreeding them to make them look funny because they liked it.
That's why pugs have so many health issues, because
Yeah,
all of them are inbred way down the line.
I mean it's pretty unethical. Like that's kind of like one of the things I agree with Peter. Like maybe these breeding sites where they forcibly inbreed animals should be shut down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're at a point in society now in like civilization where we don't really need that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God for the people that created dogs. I mean, God bless y'all. But
People
No,
be
that's
pooping on
dangerous,
cats, dude, but cats are actually like you find a good cat,
Yeah.
they're fucking lit.
Yeah,
a
cats.
cat that will automatically sit on your lap. That's what I want.
That's I have a cat that's like that. He shows me affection. Like I can't get him away from me, and he's a good cat. Like that's why I try and tell people, like, dude, you either find horrible cats, or you're just I don't know. Some people just aren't cat people, but there's good cats. dude.
Yeah, there are good.
My cat passed away, but before she died, she was a little bitch. She still loved me like crazy, but she would like scratch at you and bite at you just for like no reason, just because she felt like it. But every once in a while, she'd just come up and like rub on you and like, "Hey, how are you doing?"
And then
Not always, but sometimes, yeah.
That's kind of the best of both worlds, though.
Yeah.
Get the hate and the love.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like an abusive life.
Yeah, dude.
We all want one of those, right?
But then dogs can freaking eat your ass, dude. Like you
Yeah,
find a mean dog.
Actually, when you picked me up, you saw that German Shepherd there, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Oh,
I wasn't there the night before, but the night before, someone who was staying there was violated their parole, and the house got surrounded by cops. Like,
Really?
legit.
Yeah.
And one of the cops threatened to shoot that German Shepherd just because he looked threatening.
Wow.
And they didn't give them a chance to put the dog away and bring him inside or anything.
Jeez,
Dude, I saw that dog for like 10 seconds, and yeah, he went up to me at first, but then he just backed away.
Like, he barks loud, and he's a big, scary dog, but inside he's still a puppy.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a lot of type of dogs.
Because he's not even a year old even, so,
Oh, really?
yeah.
That big?
He's a huge dog.
Like it's on bro.
Yeah.
Jasper, his name is.
Shepherds
Honestly,
are crazy.
I'd say where it comes down to cats versus dogs, like dogs are more practical in a way. Like dogs tend to give you more attention, I would say, and like you could play more with dogs. Like with cats, like it might be less playtime, but it could be better.
Yeah, cats are just down. I feel like cats are just down for the chill. They just
What do
want to chill.
What do you guys think about some, like, not necessarily exotic pets, but like unique pets, animals that people don't typically have as pets?
Like,
honestly, I think it's cool.
Like what kind of what animals?
I'm
are
just
We're
I'm
talking
kinda
about
asking what you-
snakes,
Yeah.
tarantulas.
I wanna-
Well, not
No.
necessarily that, but like people,
Mhm.
ferrets kind of, but some people like
Ferrets are
domesticate skunks and get their stink
Personally, like
things removed.
I feel like a good pet to have as a hobby would be like a falcon. like being a father.
that
Send
would be
messages and shit.
Yeah, like that'd be cool.
Trying to
The
land
thing with
around.
falcons though is you can train them good, but they're not like an affectionate animal.
Yeah,
they're kind of like cats.
it's kind of like hunting in a way. Like obviously people don't need to hunt; they hunt because they want to.
Well, that's why we domesticated dogs in the first place, because they helped us hunt.
Exactly, and like it's just kind of a cool hobby to do, like if training a bird to go hunt for you.
Wait, what's that one? It's the descendant of the dragon. It's a descendant of dinosaurs.
Chicken?
The Komodo dragon?
Komodo dragon. Yes, I want
Komodo
those.
dragons are cool.
Because they're
Aren't they
slow.
endangered though?
They have to be.
I think they're like on some island or something.
But still, that'd be sick.
But I would never own a fucking ape. There was a story about a woman who owned an ape, and then her friend came over, and the ape knew the friend, went out, ripped her old face off. Ripped her face off.
Damn.
Like, I mean everything. Like, it's not, dude, I know you're probably because you're disturbed. Dude, if you saw pictures, dude, her face is like shriveled. Like, it's literally like, you ever seen Jeepers Creepers when his face closes back up, like after the 23 days are over? Dude, her face is ripped apart. And just because the ape went crazy, just because it didn't recognize her. Then the cop came, shot the ape like 5 times. Ape still didn't die, huh? It's not like a gorilla. It's like a freaking regular ape. Like, those things are built like Mack trucks. Like, when they get old enough, they're just made of muscle. Like, they won't just, a tiger will just go at your neck and kill you, right? Like jugular or whatever. The ape will just fucking rip you apart. Like, it'll just fucking torture you.
Man, I feel those big animals, like, they're a little bit excessive in a way. Like,
Honestly, people could do a lot more of just using things that really exist for horror movies. Like, in horror movies, a lot of it's like supernatural crap, but you could have big, scary animals or people who are just in terrible situations. They got like kidnapped or whatever and are being tortured. A lot of ways you can make that into horror movies without having to do ghosts or demons.
Yeah.
yeah.
You guys,
I mean, people do sometimes too, but
Well, I would say those ones are the more better.
you guys know The Walking Dead?
yeah.
Yeah. You know how there's video games on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second season, it was like in the original script. They were supposed to be like a group stuck in a city, and they were all getting like taken out one by one. At the end, it wasn't actually walkers. It was actually going to be a tiger that went astray. It's like that one kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess they kind of recycled that idea by having the king in the settlement in the later seasons.
Oh, Jesus, no.
But it's supernatural sets it up for the whole jump scares, which is like the most,
And I would say movies like Split were better because like
That's
the one
good.
mentally ill guy like just kidnapping the girls.
It's more psychological.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they brought in the beast, so that's what made it like a sci-fi type. Not really sci-fi, but they made it like
Well, it's more supernatural because he's like imagining it. And then I would say other ones like The Lodge, where they had some like mass cult suicide survivor as like some wife there, and the kids came there and prayed a prank on her, and then like they hit her medications. She kind of went crazy in the end.
Did you guys ever watch the horror movie Ma?
Ma?
Oh,
Yeah,
is that
I've
the
heard
one with the black lady?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I saw
a
that.
good movie. I wasn't expecting it to be that good.
What's it about?
It's about these kids who have this one lady buy them liquor from a liquor store so they can get drunk because they're not old enough.
Oh.
And she's like, okay, I have one rule though. I'm not going to let you guys drink and drive. If you want the alcohol, you can come back with me to my cabin in the woods and you can party in my basement or whatever.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
And she had this one rule, they're not allowed to come upstairs. And one time someone came upstairs and they found out that she was basically torturing her daughter with cancer and injecting her with horse tranquilizer and stuff to make her less healthy.
Oh
Really?
yeah, I think I heard about.
So it's actually good.
Wait, didn't the daughter like kill her or something?
No, 'cause
Yeah,
I've
the
seen,
daughter
like-
killed her. and
Wait,
then
yeah, I
pushed
think
her
that one's based on
downstairs.
a real one.
Dude, that's crazy. Because I've seen
Yeah.
the trailers, like, when I went to go see a movie, it was in, like,
It gets even more messed up. In one of the scenes, I forget what the dude said, but he said something that really pissed her the fuck off. So she knocked him out at some point, like hitting him over the head with an iron. And when he woke up, his lips were stitched together.
oh,
That's my biggest fear. That's one of my biggest fears. Because I've seen that in multiple movies.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I would say going off on that, like that's another mental illness because I know there's like a thing where like mothers sometimes kill their children for like attention. Like I know that's been in a show or a movie. Like if they just decide to kill it off.
Oh, I saw
I
something.
think that was like
messed
I think that was like a crime fighting or a crime show.
Crime fighting show.
Show.
yo.
Dude, kill my son. Go on, yeah.
Oh, I saw something messed up where this one chick got pregnant and had a baby, and as soon as she had the baby, she buried alive in her backyard just because she changed her mind and didn't want to be pregnant anymore. Like she intentionally got pregnant; it wasn't on accident.
I think I've seen that. Is that
I saw like a news article or something on it. It just
Yeah.
really stuck with me because that's terrible.
Yeah, dude.
And I guess it's like a postpartum or postmortem depression thing. Like, so like I guess a good percentage of women, like once they have a kid, they're just like, all right, they just get hormones. They're like, damn it, life sucks now. And some of them end up killing their baby because of it.
You know
It's
what?
like you've got this thing that's giving you attention the whole time, and then it's out, and then you got to take care of it, and then nobody's just
Yeah, and then you like can't sleep because of it, and you have to constantly tend to
So
it.
just straight up was like, fucking-
Mhm.
that's weird. That's why I've been also getting more into like, you know how it says like, 10 creepy photos before death? Well, I've been getting
Clickbait articles?
well, I've been getting into stuff where it's like photos where it's like disturbing backstories behind certain photos, like that kind of stuff I'm into. Like,
Man, wait, so you just click on those ads on like a news article where it's like, yo, check out these 10 cool images.
no, not really. No, not so much that.
That's
It's
how you
like,
get computer viruses.
no, not so much that. It's like stuff on YouTube. Like I go
Oh,
and search
YouTube.
it up because it's interesting. Like there's some interesting shit. I don't know.
Yeah, there are.
I think a lot of time it's funny, like you're talking about with those ads on clickbait, where it's things that obviously like try to make you think it's porn.
Oh yeah, this game
Yeah,
will
it's
make
like-
you come in 20 seconds.
Not even that. It's just
So it's like
like
everybody in Fredonia is playing this
Oh.
game.
Oh
no,
yeah.
it's like a picture of a girl washing her car, and it's like these shocking photos reveal what happens when her dress is blown by the wind. And then it's like it'll actually show the photos, but it's like the complete opposite angle. So it's just literally you seeing her dress being blown up, covering her out.
Like the Marilyn Monroe shit.
Kind of like that, but
Because I like the one where, I like those one where it's like blank blank insert city blank blank.
oh
Yeah.
It's like this new law in Fredonia will make you change your mind about driving. So like,
Yeah.
and
Check
they
out
show
these-
like a clickbait photo of someone like putting tape on their license plate or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the one that were getting pulled over.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like really only old people fall for that shit. They're like, oh, really? And then just go to there.
No, it's got to be young impressionable people too.
I don't know.
I think it's just that old people are less tech savvy. That's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's more of a generational thing. Like their brains have stopped learning. So like, I think it'd be
And
like,
also back when they were like our age, the news wasn't designed to trick you like it is
Yeah.
now.
definitely it was more.
It was just accurate reporting on the news.
Well, I guess like if you could think about it, like going back 100 years, there were still misleading stuff, like the war in Spain. Like that was kind of made by the news.
Oh,
Really got all upset over like a technical failure, and they're like, "All right, let's go to Spain so we could sell. Let's go to war with Spain so we can sell more papers."
That was like one of the first times, right?
Mm-hmm. That was like the first televised.
Good old yellow
War.
journalism.
You're
Yeah. Lying.
Definitely. Oh yeah, guys, we want to do a quick would you rather before we finish this up.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this one, like, I was thinking, like, we got to do a good immature would you rather. So would you rather have to pee cum, or when you ejaculate you pee? So it's like only one thing comes out.
I'm gonna be honest, they're kind of both the same sensation. It's just one's more.
Yeah, it's
One's
like which
more
one's
violent
more
than the other.
inconvenient?
I feel like peeing and cum would probably just be because you just pee like normal, except it's not pee. It's
I'd be excited to pee if I pee cum, dude. Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, it doesn't feel good like that.
I mean, you could make
No,
a killing. You could make a killing in the porn industry. If you
Yeah.
could.
Oh yeah, I guess you could.
Dude, pee
Yeah,
cum
I
would be lit. Every time I go pee, I'm like, oh.
Matt, but imagine like you're using like a public bathroom and they just walk in and like, yo, did you just come all over that urinal?
Hell yeah, I did.
It's usual.
You're telling me they're looking over like, dude, are you peeing cum right now? Like, you're telling me they're looking over?
No, it'd be more like, yo, dude, you just do that?
I-
Yo, nice.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like the only downside behind that is like you need to eat like a bunch of vitamins and shit. 'Cause, like,
Oh yeah,
that
you can
ends up-
lose
yeah.
that shit fast. But I think the general consensus is you gotta be.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Wait,
that.
cum? You gotta become. You gotta become.
Become
pee cum.
comfy.
Become cum.
Alright, so I guess that was surprisingly easy. Yo, you guys got any other ones?
Nah, man, I think we just gonna end
Or
it.
the,
That's
wait, how
what-
about the dick nipples?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, would you guys rather have a nipple-sized dick or dick-sized nipples?
Honestly, dick-sized nipples. Well,
That's what I was thinking.
yeah,
too.
like there's tape. You just tape them down. Like it's gonna hurt.
Nipple-sized dick. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'd have to run with these things flapping all over the place while I could just.
What if you get excited? Wait, never mind. You're not talking
Yeah.
about dicks for nipples. Oh no, you're just
They're
talking
just
about
nipples
like.
that are dick-sized.
No, you just get spikes going. You can just ram into.
What if you
people.
got a small dick? Not saying we do.
Wait.
But like, if you had like a
Okay,
bunch of
Jack.
dicks-
Well, some people have really big nipples too. So if,
Yeah. So if you get aroused, do your nipples get boners?
I don't think so. No.
Okay,
No,
They're
okay,
still
okay,
nipples. They're just dick
All right.
sized.
Yeah, but if I got if I could get nipple boners, then I would go with the one Kevin chose. That seems
Well,
most convenient.
You can kind of get nipple boners, so I wonder if it would like be magnified
Yeah.
with the dick nipples.
It's like you jump into Lake Erie and you get cold and hard.
Bruh.
There would probably
Just
some.
got
There would
alarms.
probably be some weird sex things with dick nipples.
Dick nipples. There's
Honestly,
gotta be dick
probably.
nipples, bro.
Yeah, that might be something to look up.
Like that'd be hard to
Like
find a
there's those
partner.
people who get like donut shapes put in their forehead. So I'm
I
sure
hate
there's
that.
some.
That's so weird.
Wait, what people do that?
Yeah,
Like,
they like make the skin bubble in their head using like cosmetic surgery or whatever.
It's on
They
like the
couple
same
full
level
stuff,
of furry.
and then they put a finger in the center so it holds in like the shape of a donut.
See,
Fuck.
I feel like with weird shit like that, there's like tiers to it. It's like the kink tier tree. So like on the top level, we got straight up illegal shit, and then below that we got like really weird shit like furries.
No, I think
and like
even
that.
above illegal shit is probably shit fetishes. I think that's the yeah.
Yeah, people
I think
taking
that's
shits
the
in people's
absolute
chests.
worst sexual fantasy you can have.
Yeah.
It's just
Ew.
funny. It's so bad. It's funny.
Even foot fetishes are like, dude, those are they walk on those
Nasty.
every day barefoot in their own.
But they're
house.
also kind of funny at the same time. Like, oh, look at them
I
toes.
feel like
Yeah, yeah.
fetishes have kind of been like normalized almost.
Oh yeah. Like if furry fetishes are normalized.
Oh, no.
Honestly, I kind of want to see like the statistics behind it because I feel like these are
I feel like most people who are into foot shit wouldn't admit it though.
yeah. I feel like there's definitely a shame factor.
There's gotta be trouble.
You gotta ask the significant others of the people who are interested in these fetishes because they'll
Yeah.
probably say.
Or what if there's like an algorithm that like based on like how you like
Your porn search history.
no not even that, but like what if just based on your YouTube watch one if they could determine that.
Actually,
That'd be like some Westworld shit right
Pornhub
there.
does release a lot of statistics.
Which I find.
I'm gonna see if I
amazing.
can find some.
Yeah.
I love the one where it's like it's the 50 states and the most searched thing.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
just
good.
Florida boat.
Boat.
Oh, I forgot who's
Such
the
a
weird
Florida
one.
move.
But anyway, yeah, I think this is gonna wrap it up for us.
Yeah. Everybody, thanks for listening. We cut it down a bit, so see y'all later.